Hello, and welcome to Code Your English. I am very happy that you are here with me today. Thank you for choosing to spend your time listening to this podcast. Whether you are learning English for school, work, or just for fun, you are in the right place. Here at Code Your English, we help you practice your English listening and speaking skills in a simple and easy way. Today, we will talk about a very important topic: how to improve your communication skills easily. This topic will help you not only with your English, but also in many other parts of your life. Communication skills mean how well you share your ideas and feelings with other people. Good communication is very important. It helps you talk with your friends, family, teachers, and co-workers. When you can communicate well, you can understand others better, and others can understand you clearly. This makes your daily life easier and more fun. For example, if you speak clearly and listen carefully, people will enjoy talking with you. Good communication skills can also help you in your job. When you speak well, you can explain your ideas to your boss or teammates. When you listen well, you learn new things faster. In this podcast, I will teach you easy and useful ways to improve your communication skills. You do not need to be perfect or speak like a native English speaker. The important thing is to practice a little every day and keep learning. We will talk about simple tips like how to listen better, how to speak slowly and clearly, how to use easy words, and how to practice regularly. I will also tell you about common mistakes to avoid and fun activities to help you practice your speaking and listening. These tips are perfect for English learners like you who want to feel more confident when talking in English. So, get ready to learn some great advice and practice your English with me. This podcast will help you understand how to communicate better and make your English conversations easier and more enjoyable. Remember, communication is not just about speaking. It is about listening and understanding too. And with small steps every day, you will see big improvements. Thank you again for listening to Code Your English. Now, let's start our journey to improve your communication skills easily. Are you ready? Let's go. What are communication skills? Now, let's talk about what communication skills really mean. Communication skills are the ways we share information, thoughts, and feelings with other people. When we communicate well, we can make sure others understand us, and we can understand them too. It is like building a bridge between you and the other person using words, sounds, and even actions. Communication is something we do every day, often without thinking. But if we want to get better at it, we need to understand it clearly. There are different parts or types of communication skills. The first and most common one is speaking. Speaking means using your voice to say words and sentences. When you speak clearly, people can hear you and understand your ideas. But speaking is not just about using many words. It is about using the right words and saying them in the right way. For example, if you speak too fast or mumble, people may not understand you well. But if you speak slowly and clearly, it is easier for others to listen and follow your ideas. The second type of communication skill is listening. Listening is very important, but many people forget about it. When you listen carefully, you pay attention to what the other person is saying. Listening helps you understand their thoughts and feelings. Good listeners do not just hear words. They try to understand the meaning behind the words. When you listen well, you can answer better and have a good conversation. So, speaking and listening are two sides of the same coin. You cannot have good communication without both. The third type of communication is writing. Writing is another way to share your ideas, but using letters, words, and sentences on paper or on a screen. Writing skills are important when you send messages, emails, or letters. Clear writing helps others understand your message without confusion. When you write simply and clearly, it is easier for others to read and respond to you. Writing is a good way to practice your English too, because it helps you think about the correct words and grammar. The fourth and last type of communication we will talk about today is body language. Body language means the movements and expressions you use to show your feelings or ideas without words. For example, smiling shows happiness, and looking at someone's eyes shows that you are paying attention. Sometimes, your body language can say more than words. If you cross your arms and look away, people might think you are not interested or upset, even if you say something nice. So, using good body language can help your communication and make people feel comfortable when talking with you. Good communication skills are useful in many parts of life. At home, you can talk better with your family and friends. When you explain your ideas clearly, they understand you more easily. When you listen to them carefully, you learn about their feelings and thoughts. This makes your relationships stronger and happier. At school or work, communication is also very important. When you speak and write well, you can share your ideas, ask questions, and solve problems more easily. People respect and trust you more when you communicate clearly. This can help you do better in your job or studies. In daily life, communication helps us in simple things too, like buying food, asking for directions, or making new friends. If you can explain what you want or listen to others carefully, life becomes easier and less stressful. Communication skills also help you feel more confident. When you know how to say what you think and understand others, you will not feel nervous when talking in English or in any language. Remember, communication is a skill, and like any skill, you can improve it with practice. It is not about being perfect. It is about trying to share your thoughts clearly and listening to others with respect. Today, we will learn some easy ways to improve your communication skills step by step. These tips will help you speak and listen better and enjoy your English learning journey more. Why you need to improve your communication skills. Communication skills are very important in our lives. When you improve these skills, many good things can happen to you. Let me explain why it is important to get better at communication. First, good communication helps you make friends. Imagine you meet someone new. If you can talk to that person clearly and listen to what they say, it is easier to become friends. When you can share your thoughts and feelings well, people will understand you better. They will enjoy talking with you. Making friends is very important because friends make life happier. Also, good communication helps you keep friends because it stops misunderstandings and problems. When you can explain yourself clearly and listen to your friends, you can solve problems easily. So, improving communication skills helps you build strong and happy friendships. Second, communication skills are very useful in school and at work. Teachers and classmates listen better when you speak clearly. You can ask questions and explain your ideas so you learn more. If you write well, your homework and projects will be better too. At work, good communication is very important. You need to talk with your boss, your team, or customers. If you explain your work clearly, others will understand what you do. If you listen carefully, you can learn new things and do your job better. Good communication also helps you work well with others. When everyone talks and listens well, the work is easier and faster. This is why good communication is a key skill for success in school and work. Third, improving communication skills helps you express your ideas clearly. Sometimes you have many thoughts in your mind, but it is hard to say them in a way others understand. When you practice communication, you learn to choose the right words and speak or write in a simple way. This way, your ideas become clear and easy for others to follow. Clear expression is important because it helps people see your point of view. When people understand you well, they respect your opinion. Also, when you express your ideas clearly, you feel more confident. You don't have to be afraid that others will misunderstand you. This confidence can help you in many parts of your life. Finally, good communication helps you understand others better. Communication is not just about talking, it is also about listening. When you listen carefully, you learn what others think and feel. Sometimes people say things in a different way or use body language to show their feelings. If you pay attention, you can understand their true message. This helps you respond in a kind and helpful way. When you understand others, you build trust and respect. People will feel happy to talk to you because they know you care. Understanding others is important for good relationships, whether with friends, family, teachers, or co-workers. In short, improving your communication skills has many benefits. It helps you make and keep friends, do well in school and work, express your ideas clearly, and understand other people better. These skills make your life easier and happier. They open many doors for you in life. So, no matter where you are in your English learning, try to improve your communication skills every day. It will help you not only learn English, but also grow as a person. Common problems without good communication. Not having good communication skills can cause many problems in life. When you do not communicate well, it is hard to share your thoughts and feelings with others. Also, it is difficult to understand what other people want to say. This can lead to many problems. Let me explain some common problems you might face if your communication skills are not strong. One big problem is misunderstandings. A misunderstanding happens when people do not understand each other correctly. For example, you may say something, but the other person hears something different. Or you may think you understand, but actually you miss the real meaning. Misunderstandings can happen because of unclear words, bad listening, or different cultures. When misunderstandings happen, people can get confused or upset. Imagine you ask your friend to meet you at 5 p.m., but your friend thinks it is 6 p.m. This small mistake can cause problems because you wait, but your friend does not come on time. Misunderstandings can waste time, cause mistakes, and sometimes hurt feelings. Without good communication, misunderstandings happen often, and life becomes difficult. Another problem without good communication is arguments or conflicts. When people do not talk clearly or listen well, they may feel angry or frustrated. This can cause arguments. For example, if you do not explain your opinion well, others may think you are rude or do not care about their ideas. Or, if you do not listen to others, they may feel ignored or disrespected. Arguments happen when people do not understand each other or feel hurt. Conflicts can be small, like a fight with a friend, or bigger, like problems at work or home. Good communication helps to stop arguments because it helps people share their feelings and find solutions. Without it, conflicts grow and cause stress or sadness. Feeling shy or nervous is another common problem when communication skills are weak. Many people feel scared to speak in front of others or start a conversation. This fear happens because they worry about making mistakes or being judged. When you feel shy, you might not say what you want, or you may speak very quietly. Sometimes you avoid talking to others completely. This can make you feel lonely or left out. Improving communication skills can help you feel more confident. When you practice speaking and listening, you get better, and your fear goes away. But without this practice, shyness can keep you from sharing your thoughts or meeting new people. Finally, poor communication can cause you to miss many important opportunities. Opportunities are chances that help you grow or succeed in life. For example, a good job offer, a chance to study, or making new friends are all opportunities. But if you cannot explain yourself well or listen carefully, you might lose these chances. Imagine you want to get a job, but during the interview, you cannot talk about your skills clearly. The employer may not understand your potential and choose someone else. Or, if you cannot ask questions in class, you might miss important information. Good communication opens doors for learning, work, and personal growth. Without it, many doors stay closed. In summary, not having good communication skills can cause misunderstandings, arguments, shyness, and missed opportunities. These problems make life harder and can stop you from reaching your goals. That is why it is very important to improve your communication skills step by step. When you get better, you can avoid these problems and enjoy better relationships, success, and happiness in your life. Tips to improve communication skills easily. Now, let's talk about some easy and useful tips to improve your communication skills. These tips are simple, and you can use them every day. You do not need to be perfect or speak like a native English speaker. The most important thing is to try and practice a little every day. Let's begin. The first and most important tip is to listen carefully. Listening is the key to good communication. When you listen well, you understand the other person's ideas, feelings, and needs. Many people think communication is only about speaking, but listening is just as important. Good listening helps you respond better and have a good conversation. To listen well, you must pay attention. This means you should look at the person who is speaking, stop other activities, and not think about what you want to say next. Try to understand their words and feelings. If you do not understand something, it is okay to ask questions. For example, you can say, "Can you please say that again?" Or, "What do you mean by that?" Listening carefully shows respect, and people will enjoy talking with you more. The second tip is to speak clearly and slowly. When you speak quickly, it is hard for others to understand you, especially if you are still learning English. Speaking slowly gives you time to think about your words, and it helps others hear every word clearly. Speaking clearly means opening your mouth properly and pronouncing words well. You can practice by reading aloud or talking in front of a mirror. Try to speak in short sentences at first. It is better to speak slowly and clearly than fast and confusing. When you practice speaking this way, You will feel more confident, and others will understand you better. Remember, the goal is to communicate, not to speak fast. The third tip is to use simple words and sentences. Many people think that using big and difficult words will make them sound smart. But in reality, using simple and easy words helps people understand you more quickly. When you explain your ideas, try to use words you know well. Avoid difficult words or long sentences that can confuse your listeners. For example, instead of saying utilize, you can say use. Instead of long sentences, try breaking your ideas into 2 or 3 short sentences. Simple language is clear language. If you are not sure about a word, it is better to use a simple word you know than to guess a difficult one. This way, your communication will be easier and better. The fourth tip is to practice regularly. Communication is a skill, and like any skill, it needs practice. The more you practice, the better you will get. You can practice speaking English every day by talking with friends, family, or even yourself. Try to find someone who wants to practice English too. If you do not have a partner, you can practice by recording your voice and listening to yourself. This helps you hear your mistakes and improve. Another way to practice is by listening to English podcasts, songs, or watching English videos, and then repeating what you hear. Even speaking in front of a mirror can help you improve your confidence and skills. The important thing is to practice a little bit every day. Consistency is the key to success. The fifth tip is to learn new words every day. Learning new words helps you express your ideas better and understand others more easily. You do not need to learn many words at once. Even learning 1 or 2 new words every day is very helpful. You can write new words in a notebook or on your phone. Try to use these new words in your speaking or writing. This way, you will remember them better. You can also use flashcards or apps to learn and practice new words. When you know more words, you will feel more confident when talking, and your communication will improve. But remember, always focus on learning useful words that you can use in your daily life. The sixth and last tip I want to share is about using body language. Body language means using your face, hands, and body to show your feelings and ideas without words. It is an important part of communication because sometimes what we say with words is not enough. Simple things like smiling, nodding your head, and making eye contact can show that you are interested and paying attention. When you smile, people feel comfortable and happy to talk with you. Eye contact shows respect and helps build trust. But remember, eye contact should be natural and not too long, so it does not feel uncomfortable. Also, avoid crossing your arms or looking away too much, because this can make people think you are not interested. Using good body language will help your communication become clearer and more friendly. In summary, improving your communication skills is easier than you think. By listening carefully, speaking clearly and slowly, using simple words, practicing regularly, learning new words, and using positive body language, you will become a better communicator. Remember, communication is not just about speaking English perfectly. It is about sharing your ideas clearly and understanding others. So, keep practicing, be patient with yourself, and enjoy your learning journey. Benefits of good communication skills. Good communication skills bring many benefits to your life. When you can talk and listen well, it changes how you live and how others see you. Let me explain some important benefits that come from improving your communication. One of the biggest benefits of good communication skills is that you can build strong relationships. Relationships mean the connections you have with other people, like friends, family, teachers, or co-workers. When you communicate well, you can share your thoughts and feelings clearly. This helps people understand you better and feel closer to you. Also, good communication means listening carefully to others. When you listen, you show respect and care, which makes people happy. Strong relationships give you support when you need help, make you feel safe, and bring joy to your life. Without good communication, relationships can be weak and full of problems. But when your communication skills improve, your relationships grow stronger and more meaningful. Another important benefit is gaining confidence. Confidence means feeling sure about yourself and your abilities. When you communicate well, you can express your ideas and feelings clearly. This helps you feel proud of yourself because you know people understand what you say. Good communication skills help you speak in front of others, share your opinion, and ask questions without fear. The more you practice, the more confident you become. This confidence does not stay only in talking. It also helps you in other parts of life, like trying new things or solving problems. When you feel confident, you can face challenges with a positive attitude and do better in everything you do. Good communication skills also help you perform better in school or work. In school, teachers listen better when you speak clearly. You can ask questions to understand lessons and explain your ideas in writing or speaking. When you do this, your teachers and classmates see that you are interested and hardworking. This helps you get better grades and learn faster. At work, communication is one of the most important skills employers look for. If you can explain your work clearly, listen to instructions, and talk with your team, your job becomes easier and more successful. Good communication also helps you solve problems and avoid mistakes at work. When you perform better at school or work, you open more doors for your future, like good jobs, promotions, or scholarships. Lastly, having good communication skills can make you feel happier and less stressed. When you can share your feelings and thoughts, you do not keep problems inside. Talking with friends, family, or teachers helps you feel supported and understood. This makes your mind feel lighter and more peaceful. Also, when you communicate well, you avoid misunderstandings and arguments that cause stress. Instead, you can solve problems calmly and clearly. Feeling less stressed means you sleep better, think better, and enjoy life more. Happiness and peace of mind come when your communication skills help you connect with others and handle situations well. In short, improving your communication skills helps you build strong relationships, gain confidence, do better in school or work, and feel happier and less stressed. These benefits make your life better in many ways. Remember, communication is not just about talking. It is about connecting with people and sharing who you are. So, try to practice every day and watch how your life changes for the better. Common mistakes to avoid. Now, before we finish this part of our podcast, it is important to talk about some common mistakes many people make when they try to improve their communication skills. Knowing these mistakes will help you avoid them and become a better communicator faster. Don't worry if you have made some of these mistakes before. Everyone does. The good news is that once you know about them, you can work on changing them step by step. One very common mistake is speaking too fast. When you speak very quickly, your listener may have trouble understanding your words. This is especially true when you are learning English. Speaking fast can make your words unclear and your sentences hard to follow. Sometimes people speak fast because they feel nervous or want to finish quickly. But the result is that others may miss important information or feel confused. So, the best way is to slow down a little. When you speak slowly, you give yourself time to think, and your listener has time to understand you. It is okay to pause between ideas or sentences. This also makes your speech sound natural and calm. Remember, clear communication is more important than speed. Another mistake is not listening to others carefully. Sometimes when people talk, they are only thinking about what they want to say next. They do not really listen to the other person. This can make conversations difficult and frustrating. When you do not listen well, you might miss important points or misunderstand what the other person means. This can cause confusion or even arguments. Good communication is like a dance. Both people take turns speaking and listening. To avoid this mistake, try to focus on the speaker, pay attention to their words, and show that you are listening by nodding or saying simple words like "yes" or "I understand." Listening carefully shows respect and helps you build stronger relationships. A third mistake is using too many difficult words. Sometimes people think that using big or complicated words will make them sound smart or better at English. But in reality, using too many difficult words can confuse your listener. If the person you are talking to does not know those words, they will have a hard time understanding your message. This can stop good communication from happening. Instead, try to use simple words that both you and your listener understand well. Using easy words shows that you care about clear communication. Also, it helps you speak more naturally and confidently. Remember, communication is about sharing ideas, not showing off your vocabulary. The last common mistake I want to talk about is being afraid to speak. Many people feel nervous or scared when they speak English, especially in front of others. They worry about making mistakes, sounding wrong, or not being understood. This fear can stop you from practicing and improving your communication skills. But the truth is, making mistakes is part of learning. No one is perfect, and everyone makes mistakes when they learn a new language. The important thing is to keep trying and not give up. When you speak regularly, your confidence will grow, and you will get better with time. So, do not be afraid to speak, even if you make mistakes. Every time you speak, you learn something new. In summary, to improve your communication skills, try to avoid these mistakes. Don't speak too fast, listen carefully, use simple words, and don't be afraid to speak. When you know these common errors, you can work on them and become a more confident and clear communicator. Remember, communication is about connection and understanding, not about being perfect. So, be patient with yourself, practice every day, and enjoy the journey of learning English. You are doing great. Fun activities to practice communication skills. Now that we have learned many tips and common mistakes to avoid, it's time to talk about some fun and easy activities you can do to practice your communication skills every day. Practicing is very important because it helps you remember what you have learned and become more confident when speaking English. The good news is that practicing does not have to be difficult or boring. There are many fun ways to practice your speaking and listening skills, and today I will share some of the best activities with you. The first fun activity is to talk to a friend or family member daily. Talking with people you know is a great way to practice your English in a relaxed and friendly environment. You can ask them simple questions about their day, share your ideas, or talk about a topic you like. It does not have to be a long conversation. Even a few minutes every day will help you improve your communication skills. When you talk with others regularly, you get used to speaking English and listening to different words and expressions. Don't worry about making mistakes. Your friends and family will understand, and they can help you learn better. Try to find someone who also wants to practice English, and you can help each other. Another fun way to practice is to record yourself speaking and listen again. This activity might feel strange at first, but it is very useful. You can use your phone or computer to record your voice when you speak about a topic, read a story, or practice a conversation. After recording, listen carefully to your voice. You can hear how you speak, your pronunciation, and the words you use. This helps you find areas where you can improve. Maybe you speak too fast, or say some words unclearly. When you listen again, you can practice those parts and try to speak better next time. Recording yourself is also a good way to see your progress, because you can save the recordings and listen to them after a few weeks or months. You will be surprised to hear how much you improve. The third fun activity is to join a language group or club. Many cities and online communities have groups where people meet to practice speaking different languages. Joining a group like this can be very helpful because you will meet other learners who have the same goal as you. In a language group, you can practice speaking, listen to others, and learn new words and expressions. The group may have fun activities like games, role-playing, or group discussions. This makes learning English more interesting and less stressful. If you cannot find a local group, you can look for online language clubs or conversation partners. The important thing is to find a friendly place where you can practice without fear. Finally, one of the easiest and most enjoyable ways to practice is to use apps or podcasts to listen and repeat. Today, there are many apps and podcasts designed especially for English learners. You can listen to short stories, conversations, or lessons and repeat what you hear. This activity helps you improve your pronunciation, vocabulary, and listening skills. You can listen anytime, while walking, cooking, or traveling. Repeating after the speaker helps your mouth learn how to say words correctly, and your brain remember new words and sentence structures. Some apps even give you feedback on your pronunciation. The best part is that you can practice at your own speed and choose topics that interest you. Remember, the key to improving your communication skills is to practice regularly and enjoy the process. When you talk to friends or family, record yourself, join a language group, or use apps and podcasts. You make learning English part of your daily life. These activities do not only help you speak better, but also make you more confident and comfortable using English. Try to do at least one of these activities every day, and you will see your communication skills improve step by step. So, have fun with your English practice, and do not be afraid to make mistakes. Every conversation, every recording, and every new word you learn brings you closer to your goal. Keep going, and remember, learning English is a journey that you can enjoy. You are doing a great job. Summary and final advice. We have now reached the end of today's podcast episode, and it is a great time to look back and remember the most important points we talked about. Improving your communication skills might seem difficult at first, but with simple steps and regular practice, you can get better every day. Let me remind you of the main tips we learned today to help you communicate more clearly and confidently in English. First, we talked about the importance of listening carefully. Good communication starts with listening well. When you listen with attention, you understand the other person's ideas and feelings better. This makes your answers and responses more meaningful. So, always try to focus on the speaker, and don't be afraid to ask questions if you need to understand more. Next, we learned that speaking clearly and slowly is very helpful. Speaking too fast can confuse your listener, especially if English is not your first language. When you speak slowly, you give yourself time to think, and others have time to understand you. Try to practice speaking clearly every day, even if it is just a little bit. We also talked about using simple words and sentences. It is better to use easy words that both you and your listener understand well than to use difficult words that might confuse people. Simple language makes your ideas clear and your conversation smoother. You don't need to use big words to communicate well. Another important tip is to practice regularly. Communication is a skill, and like any skill, it improves with practice. You can practice by talking to friends or family, recording yourself, joining language groups, or using apps and podcasts. The more you practice, the more confident and natural you will become. Learning new words every day is also helpful. When you know more words, you can express your ideas better. But remember, it is better to learn a few useful words at a time and try to use them in your speaking and writing. Finally, don't forget the power of body language. Simple things like smiling, making eye contact, and nodding your head can make your communication stronger. Your body language shows that you are interested and friendly. As you continue to practice these tips, also remember the common mistakes we talked about. Avoid speaking too fast. Always listen to others carefully. Don't use too many difficult words, and never be afraid to speak. Everyone makes mistakes, and that is okay. The important thing is to keep trying and learning from each experience. I encourage you to keep practicing every day. Even a few minutes of speaking or listening in English will help you improve. Learning a language is a journey, and every small step counts. Be patient with yourself and celebrate your progress, no matter how small it feels. Remember, communication is not just about speaking perfectly. It is about sharing your ideas, understanding others, and connecting with people. The more you practice, the easier and more enjoyable your English conversations will become. Thank you so much for listening to Code Your English today. I am proud of you for taking this step to improve your communication skills. Keep up the great work, and don't give up. Your English will get better and better with time. I hope you enjoyed this episode and found it helpful. Please join me again soon for more lessons and tips to help you learn English in a fun and easy way. Until then, keep practicing, stay positive, and remember, you can do it. Goodbye for now, and take care.